from people from overseas. China, by chance, they got thousands of helpers, thousands of the Chinese workers to come over and help with the construction of the Canadian Pacific Railway. So they had gotten to Hell's Gate here, and all they had at the time was very primitive pathways on either side of the river, little ropes to hold on to. But if you're trying to bring huge steel rails up here, sleepers and all the tools you need to construct the rail, they really didn't have any method to get these tools up. So Andrew Onderdonk had the idea to build a ship down in the last little town of Yale, and this ship was called the SS Scuzzy. Yes, funny name. Anyway, he built the SS Scuzzy back in Yale. The first captain, he sailed it upstream here, the steam vessel. He got to Hell's Gate, he took one look and he quit. Floated back to Yale. It said about 2 weeks later or so, a second captain got up to Hell's Gate here, gave it 2 attempts, failed after the second attempt. A third captain, again about 2 weeks or so later, a gentleman by the name of S.R. Smith, absolutely determined. He got his ship up to Hell's Gate here. He managed to get the SS Scuzzy through the walls of Hell's Gate, the narrowest point of the Mighty Money Fraser, but not just with the help of the men on the boat. They got about 150 of the Chinese workers, 75 to 80 men on either side of the river. They blasted metal bolts into the rock. They put ropes through the bolts there. They put the ropes down to the ship. With the help of the 150 Chinese workers, inch by inch, over 10 days, they pulled the SS Scuzzy upstream through Hell's Gate here. Absolutely amazing, mind-boggling effort. So once they had gotten the SS Scuzzy to Boston Bar, the next little town just 7 miles up, which is where they wanted to get all of these extra goods and supplies. Boston Bar given its name because they had a bar there, and by chance a lot of men from Boston would be there. When they had gotten the supplies up there, men had placed bets on what captain were to get it there by what day with the help of how many people. So you can imagine they partied all weekend as men had won money and people had gambled. I'm going to cut myself off. If you look at the bridge, you see the far side, you see a white sign. The bottom of the white sign is a black line. That black line is the highest water level ever reached at Hell's Gate. That was in 1948. At the time, the highest water level at that line is about 210 feet deep. It's only about 100 feet wide. So what made this area, what increased the ferocity and turbulency of the water, was a slight narrowing due to a few rock slides that happened. The first being in 1914, pre-construction of the Canadian Pacific Railway, which is on the other side. It was about 43 metres wide. The rock slides narrowing to about 34, increasing the ferocity and turbulency of the water through the same walls there, which actually made it a lot harder for salmon to return back upstream, as they had a narrower gap with even more and more powerful water coming through there. The salmon numbers were starting to dwindle, and scientists started to notice this in the early 1970s. So over the next few years, over the next few decades, slowly implementing these salmon ways or salmon ladders. These are these large concrete structures you might have caught a glimpse on just at the water's edge. And the idea is that the water slows down drastically in these salmon ways or salmon ladders. The salmon can enter before the most turbulent part and exit after, therefore dodging the hardest part for them to get around. So they implemented the first. It was so successful they implemented 5 more for a 6 total. But in 2010 they had the largest ever recorded salmon run coming back upstream. They recorded about 32 million salmon coming back upstream here. Wow. It sounds odd how they would count fish in the water, but they would have people standing about 1 metre apart on either side of the river, hundreds of people counting all of the salmon or fish they see in the little square metre in front of them every minute. They would pause for a minute, they would count for a minute, they would average all of the numbers out. They reached 32 million apparently. So every 4 or so years is a dominant salmon run. They predicted 2014 be about 3 times that, about 96 million. It was